For me, Russia has been playing the long game all along and has been hoping potentially for the return of more of its commodities. And Europe didn't wait for the US and Russia to start a reset. Some European business interests had already in mind potentially a return of more of Russian gas, especially because of the lack of competitiveness right now in Europe. I think some pro-Russian parties in Europe, extreme right, had already mentioned that. We were starting already to see some discussion around it. I think there will be nothing before a peace agreement. So it remains very preliminary, but I think utilities in Europe, without vocally screaming that they will be happy to get some Russian molecules that are potentially less expensive and will bring down the prices in Europe.
But Europe seems to have done a good job, Leslie, of kind of getting by without the Russian energy sources. Is this something that can be a longer-term play? Do they want to not go back to Russia for any reason?
Yeah, it's a tricky question.
Yeah. I think the trust has been broken. It will never come back to the 40% of market share that Russia had in the European imports of gas. But I think 20% is a possibility. And 2024, it was actually 18%, both pipeline and LNG imports from Russia. And now it's way down because there is a line via Ukraine that is completely out of service. There is no more molecule going through this line, but the Turk Stream is still running, and the Arctic LNG, the Yamal LNG cargo is still coming into Europe. So we still have some flows. They never left, and they could ramp up a little bit more. But again, there are many not resolved issues. First, there is a question of trust. Gazprom has many penalties it needs to sort out with the European utilities. So Gazprom owes a lot of money to this company. I don't think they will sign again long-term contracts like they did before. I don't know what kind of arrangement can be found, but it's very preliminary and it's going to take time.
And that's what's so cool about commodities is that it'll sort itself out, right? Like if more gas does come on the market, Europe may not buy it, but it also means that you'll shift the flows around in terms of where all that
Molecules.
LNG and gas goes. Yeah.
And to your question, I think Europe doesn't need the Russian gas, especially in 2026, 2027, when we see a much better, well-supplied global gas market.
Yeah.
We have much more supply coming online. So this Russian gas can actually be displaced by other sources. And this is one of the contradictions from the Trump administration, is that the baby drill agenda doesn't go along with bringing back more Russian molecule into Europe because it's going to displace potentially US LNG.